Radhe
the birth of Shri Krishna. It's Janmashtami, right? Who is Shri Krishna? Ete chansa kalah punsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. 1.3.28 Bhagavad Puran says, Krishno havai paramam daivatam Gopal Tapni Upanishad. He is the Supreme Personality. And for us, we have an intimate connection with Him. Firstly, He is Anando Brahmeti Vijana. Anandam Brahmano Vidvan. Anandamayo bhyasat kevalano bhavananda swarupa anandamatra mavikalpa satchidananda vigraha. All these mantras, these verses are saying Shri Krishna is bliss. And we Ansho Nana Vyapadesha Mamaivansho Jivaloke. The Bhagavad Gita, the Vedanta, they all say, they proclaim, they declare that we are not this material body. We are actually parts of Shri Krishna. We are divine entities. And therefore it is our nature that we all, without being told, without being taught, we all seek happiness 24 hours. Our whole life revolves around the school of happiness. We have been searching, planning, practicing to achieve this goal of happiness. But through our countless lives, still today, we have not achieved this central goal of our lives. And it is due to ignorance that we haven't yet attained it, because we do not know that this goal of happiness has got a connection to that Supreme Being, Shri Krishna, whom we are parts of. Our internal being, the soul, is seeking divine, spiritual happiness, everlasting happiness. And we are ignorantly seeking it in the total opposite area. Divine happiness in the material realm. How can we ever be satisfied? The thirst is still there. We are not satisfied. It is only unless and until we direct this search to the source, to the fountainhead of bliss, that's Shri Krishna. This futile attempt, this futile seeking of happiness is never going to be fulfilled, because we haven't gone to the source. We are parts of Him. He, our Father, just think. He's our Father, and He took birth amongst His children. A father taking birth amongst children. The children come afterwards. Father comes first. Nay, He took birth, and we are all His children. He is eternal, we are eternal. Here there is no age difference between father and child. We belong to Him. The scriptures have got, it's very, very profound. It's a dense jungle. We don't even know the names of the scriptures. However, the truth is very simple. And we have to have realized an authority to tell us the simple truth which I am sharing with you. Shri Krishna, Supreme Personality. He is bliss. We are parts of bliss. And that's why it's our nature. And we can only attain that supreme bliss when we attain Him. And the reason for his descent was to give us all the subject matter to connect to him. The mind is very fickle. The mind has been attached to this world from time immemorial. The roots of attachment are so deep, so deep, so deep. So it's very difficult listening to the scriptures. Oh, he's God and you have a connection and we recite Tvameva Mata Cha Pita Tvameva. We go on and on doing these things. And people give us very, very complicated knowledge from the scriptures. But it's very simple. So the reason he descended was to give us the subject matter, to show how merciful he is. Bhakta Vashyata. He is under the control of those who love him. He, that supreme being, all powerful, all knowing, all pervading, the governor, the creator, he comes down to our level. Our children who seek him, who love him. And on this very day, today the 6th day, I told you that Shri Krishna killed the demoness Putna. She came to feed him poison, to kill him, comes at center in the Leela. This is a Leela area and everybody's got different parts to play. So her part was to kill him. And what did Shri Krishna do? Just because she took him up in her arms, just as a mother would do to feed. He is merciful. He just sent us straight to his divine abode. On the 6th day of his birth. Itana bada kamal. And yet people question, how could Shri Krishna do this? How could Shri Krishna do that? Why don't you think what all he did in 6 days to kill a demoness? So obviously there is a power over there. And you're questioning his pastimes. Why did he steal? Why did he do this? Our material intellects. There's lots of people who do question. So he is beyond the grasp of our material intellects. Not only we, but the scripture says Saraswati, Brihaspati, Brahma, Shankar, no one knows him. But the soul who connects to him with love, that's the purpose. Listening to the pastimes of his, how merciful, how loving he is. As I said to you, he plays with those souls who loved him as a friend. He becomes a horse for them. He snatches food morsels from their hand and eats it with relish. He dances for the gopis. His mother, she enjoyed all those beautiful pastimes of this little child of ours, the Supreme Lord, as a little child. So all this subject matter that we have to connect ourselves. And what is the way to connect? The Bhagavad again tells us, in this age of Kali Yuga, we don't need to go into any elaborate methods. कुछ भी नहीं करना आपको. क्या करना? 3 भक्ति. श्रोतव्यो कीर्तितव्यश्च स्मर्तव्यश्चेच्छता भयम. सुनना, श्रोतव्य. We are listening. Whether we listen to the philosophy or we listen to the pastimes of Shri Krishna, the blissful pastimes. And secondly, to chant. Kirtitavyascha. That also is the only method in this age of Kali Yuga. Kalau taddhari kirtana. Kali Yuga kevala namadhara. And the third, smarana bhakti. If we just mechanically, Hare Ram, and we are looking here, looking there, thinking of something or the other, no, it's the mind. Remember the mind. You may not even chant with your tongue, but if your mind is connected, the main worker is the mind, the worker of every action. Man hi karm ka karta or man hi bandhan. The mind is responsible for all the binding that we are going through, all the suffering, the mind. So it's the mind that is diseased, and this diseased mind needs to be connected there. and it will be purified. When the mind dwells on the pure, it will become purified. If the mind dwells on the material, this Maya area, Rajogun, Tamogun, Sattvagun, it becomes more material, it's already material. So dwelling of the mind on the divine, that is the purpose of Shri Krishna's descent. And he gave us this wide area of his names, his pastimes, and his beautiful qualities of mercy, love, etc. All these scriptures are explained in such a complicated way, and we feel really happy. That was really intellectual. The simpler we are, the more humble we are, we will get grace. As Ramakrishna Paramahansa said, the grace of God cannot collect upon the high mount of egotism. It runs down. I know it all. This is intellectual. Like most people want to believe in Nirakar. God is formless. Formless? Okay, meditate on the formless. Try it. Your mind is going to be everywhere else. And that's why God descended. Yes, I have a form. Why shouldn't I? If you can have a form, why can't I have a form? My form and me, there's no difference. Form is divine. I am divine. So we don't need to go into any intellectual understanding and reading. It is very, very simple. And as I said, it's explained by authorities. A Jagat Guru is teaching us what is the nature of God and His saints. They just grace and love. That's the nature. We don't have to say and ask, please grace me, please shower your love. They can do nothing else. We can do all sorts of things, get angry, get jealous, all sorts of emotions we can do, but God and saints, they can only love and grace. And that's what Shri Krishna is about. So hamaro Sahaj means naturally loving. That is Shri Krishna. So what is the spiritual practice that we are to engage in to purify the mind and receive His love? Because we need a vessel to receive the love, isn't it? We don't have it. He is there. He resides within us. We don't experience it because the mind is still needs a cleansing. So the cleansing process comes through. Driga asuvana sopoya haranita. As I said, any kind of yagyas, fasting, reading, no ritualistic practices can bind the Lord. All He wants is a cry, like a little child. When the child cries, the mother is there for the child. So we are all children who are lost in this world. This, what you could say, mela kehte hain na Hindi mein. That's what this world is. And we are lost in it. It's also attractive. So many toys all around in the world, and we are all running towards those toys which are outwardly give happiness, internally it's a suffering. Nothing will give us happiness. So these tears, they purify the mind and they also bind the Lord. That's what is something that Shri Krishna cannot stay away from. Anybody who sheds tears, he also sheds tears. So what am I going to garland you with? No need of flowers or diamonds or gold, nothing. He wants a garland of tears. Drig asuvanaso poya haranit. How can you make a garland of tears? It's easy. How? Because Shri Krishna resides within us. As he says, Ishvara sarva bhutanam hriddeshejna tishtati. I reside in the heart of every being. Now when a devotee sheds tears, the tears go down the cheeks, and when they go down, they literally form like, from both the sides, it's like a garland going around Shri Krishna. So I'm going to garland you every day with my tears of love. And Lalita Tribhanga Ananga Vimohan, your beautiful form, which is far more attractive than millions of cupids, is the personification of beauty, Shri Krishna. Sumirat Atho Yam. I said 3 kinds of bhakti. The most important is Smaran Bhakti. Smaran means contemplation, meditation with the mind. So I'm going to meditate upon your all attractive form. And Rasana So Nishivasara China China. And with my tongue, now we come to chanting. So with my tongue, I'm going to constantly, ceaselessly sing your name, your glories, your pastimes. We've got a wide area. So it's all about diverting the mind. Rise in love. As Vivekananda says, bhakti is love for the highest, and the lowest will fall away by itself. You'll find it all insignificant. Once we have a glimpse, once we taste the joy of that spiritual happiness, everything else in the material world will seem pale before that. Just like in the noonday sun, if you light a candle, you'll barely be able to see the flame. That sun is so bright. In the same way, every material joy, no matter how great it is, when we thought about it before, you may be the king, but everything is pale in comparison to that divine joy. So, Shravana Sunat Nit Priyatama Charcha Sudha Madhuna. We have sense organs, right? Eyes, ears, tongue. Why not use them? The mind needs help, you see. If we try to just silently sit down, we often find, until we've achieved practice through lifetimes for focus. Otherwise, the usual story, 100 things, my child, the food, the house, my work, the mind is running everywhere. So therefore, we can take the sense organs to help us. The eyes, the ears. So the eyes are shedding tears, the ears are listening to his pastimes, etc. And his divine name. Divine name is nectar and bliss. Blissful nectar. Why? Because Shri Krishna himself resides in his name. It's not an ordinary name. He himself. He is bliss. That name is also same. Bhinnatvan nama namino. It's because right now the mind is impure. And each of us tastes the nectar of this name according to the degree of purity we have achieved through spiritual practice. The name is the same. The name which Meera took is the same which we are chanting. The name which Tulsidas took, that's the same we are chanting. All these saints took the same name. But because they had attained that purity, so that name you must have heard. Bhang dhatura ganjra utar jat parvat nam khumari. The intoxication of the divine name. Guru Nanak Dev is saying, it remains with me day and night. What an intoxication. It's available and free. You don't have to be bathing and sitting in an upright posture or going to the temple anywhere and everywhere, anytime. It's available. And the more we chant it, the more we will be able to tap that bliss which is inherent in the name. So Sudha Madhur, with my ears I listen to that. Talk of the divine, his pastimes, his names. So for some time we have to be focused. The growing plant of devotion needs to be protected. Protected from the onslaughts from the world. All the time there are onslaughts. The attraction of the world, the attachments of the world, they're all pulling us. So till the mind gets to a state that it's not distracted, we need to concentrate it. I'm not going to waste my time listening to idle talk. इसकी बात, उसकी बात, वो ऐसा है, वो वैसी है. We sit and enjoy that. And then we talk about this, about work, about other things. People who have dogs will discuss their dogs. People who have little children, newborn children. My child did this today, my child did that today. So this is what goes on. Every moment we have. We should remember this. So at least gradually we will try to select what is going to help our spiritual progress and avoid things that are going to take us away from it. Then it becomes a natural part of you. How natural? When you're eating food and stone comes into your mouth, what do? खा लेंगे? No, you just take it out. कभी तो कुछ लोग तो बड़े आदमी लोग थाली हटा देते हैं. लाओ दूसरा, ये कोई खाना बना है, बाल निकला है यहाँ पे. अब कुछ लोग क्या करेंगे? मुंह में पत्थर आया, निकाल दिया बस. So then all these material things, because we've tasted the sweetness of the divine, then all these material talk and irrelevant things, they will be like that stone. You just don't want it. You don't want to listen to it. It doesn't appeal to you at all. You will avoid it. तो हम कृपालु उनके वे मेरे. So is Shri Krishna who descended? We belong to him. He belongs to us. That's the total, you could say, gist of the scriptures. The scriptures are telling you only this. People may write big commentaries, pages and pages, books and books. What is it about? I am a soul. I belong to you. I'm a divine entity. We are all parts of him. And we are seeking him. The happiness that we seek is actually, we are seeking him without knowing it. So the simple truth of the scriptures is just this much. The procedure has been mentioned in a gist over here. That's all we need to know and do. And also, I belong to him and he belongs to me. That's the totality.